Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 13 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Today's protein source is going to be beef brisket, and today's going to be a legs and abs training routine. And right now, I'm going to be taking you through a full lower body stretching routine to perform after you finish training legs and abs. Now let's get started. And this brings us to the stretching portion of the workout. What we're going to do for the stretching routine is I've got 3 stretches for you guys. We've got a global stretch for the superficial back line. We've got a dynamic stretch for the psoas major. And then we have a myofascial stretching exercise for the rectus femoris. For the first stretch, this is going to be a global stretch for the superficial back line. So we're going to cover everything from the skull down. We're going to cover the thoracic and lumbar erectors, so things like your erector spinae group. We're going to cover your hip extensors, so things like your glute max, your knee flexors, so things like your hamstrings group, and your plantar flexors, so things like your gastrocnemius. For this one, I'm going to be using a strength band. If you don't have a strength band, you could either use a yoga strap or you could just use your arms and you could apply a little bit of a pressure in PNF by digging your toes into your hands. But for myself, I'm going to be using the strength band. This stretch right over here is going to be in a seated position. So what you want to do is you want to walk far back enough that you feel some nice tension on the band. And then once you do that, you're just going to go ahead and take a seat. From this position right over here, we want to just kind of wiggle our butt backward until we get a nice stretch. We're going to hold this position, and then what we want to do is to activate the calves and hamstrings, we are going to put our heels down into the ground, so you're going to dig in. And then to activate the lumbar and thoracic erectors, we are going to pull on the band and just go into extension. We're going to hold that for 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, we're going to exhale, relax, and then just walk a little bit more backward and try and sink deeper into the stretch. We're going to hold that for 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, dig your heels in, lift up a bit, hold that for 6 seconds. After 6 seconds, exhale, relax. And let's walk back a little bit more, get deeper into the stretch. There we go. Going to hold that for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, one more time, dig your heels down into the ground, activate the thoracolumbar erectors by moving backward, so going into extension, exhale, relax, walk backward, and on this final pass, we are going to hold it for 20 seconds. We've got about 10 seconds left. So you guys should know by now, for the PNF stretches, we contract for 6, relax for 10, contract for 6, relax for 10, contract for 6, relax for 20. And that feels like it was about 20 seconds. Now we're going to come out of that. And that was the PNF stretching exercise, the global stretch for the superficial back line. Next, we are going to perform a stretching exercise for the psoas major, and this is going to be a dynamic stretch. For this exercise right over here, we're going to be using a dowel rod. If you don't have a dowel rod, you could use a broomstick handle, or you could use anything that you have as long as you have some type of vertically oriented pole to press down on. What we want to do is we are going to get into a lunge position. So get into your half kneeling position. What we're going to do is you are going to, with straight arms, push down into the dowel rod. By pushing down, that is going to activate the rectus abdominis, which attaches to the pubic symphysis, and it is going to pull us into retroversion. So what we want to do is we're going to push down, and then with the hip, the knee that's on the ground, we want to force that hip forward. So we really want to open it up. So we're going to push, lean forward to get a stretch in the hip flexor, and we're going to do that for 20 repetitions. So 1, 2, 3, on every repetition, push down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. All right, now we're going to switch sides and push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. And that was the dynamic stretching exercise for the psoas major. The third and final stretch is going to be for the rectus femoris, and this is going to be a myofascial stretching exercise. Once again, we are going to be in a half kneeling position, so as though you're in the bottom position of a lunge. The knee that is on the floor, that is going to be the side of the rectus femoris that we are stretching. And what we want to do for this exercise, we're going to grab a hold of the ankle, and we want to come up so that our heel is pulling toward our butt. So we want our heel to touch our butt. We want to pull it across to the midline, and then what we want to do with the opposite arm, or with the arm of the side that we're stretching, we want to go into maximum flexion so that the bicep is in line with the ear, maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation. We're going to press the palm up, the chin is tucked in, crown of the head is pushing up, eyes are looking down to put the dura mater under tension, and we're going to maintain that for 30 seconds starting now. Really focus on retroversion of the pelvis and bringing the hip forward. So you want to go into extension. Ten seconds. And slowly come out of it. We're going to do the other side now. So same thing. We want to go ahead, take that heel, drive it toward the glute, bring it across to the midline. The main action is heel to glute. And we got 30 seconds starting now. So remember, you got retroversion of the pelvis, so a posterior pelvic tilt. You're going into hip extension by driving the hip forward. Maximum flexion of the shoulder so that the bicep is in line with the ear. Maximum extension of elbow and wrist, and maximum external rotation. Your chin is tucked in, the crown of your head is pushing up. Your eyes are looking down at the ground to put the dura mater under tension. 5 seconds left. And slowly come out of it. Let's go to the other side. "30 seconds starting now." To get that hip extension, really focus on activating the glutes. So imagine that you're doing a kickback with your heel, so that you're really engaging that glute to get that hip extension. This should be pretty intense. It shouldn't be easy. I'm shaking like crazy right now. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Switch sides. I'm also sweating way more than I did during the workout. Okay, so same thing. Heel to glute. 30 seconds starting now. Pull that leg across the midline. Maximum retroversion of pelvis, extension of hip. Get that bicep in line with the ear. Keep that chin tucked in. Keep that crown of the head pushing up. Halfway there. Five seconds. And slowly come out of it. We've got one more on each side. "30 seconds starting now." 10 seconds left. Slowly come out of it. We've got one left on the opposite side, and then we are all done for day 13. We've got 30 seconds starting now. Halfway there. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And come out of it. All right, that is it for the stretching routine. And that concludes day 13 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body course. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section, but that is it for today, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Be sure to like, share, and leave a comment as it'll help the algorithm. And if you enjoyed the content, show your support by subscribing to the channel by clicking on the icon in the bottom right corner. And if you really want to show your support, then consider becoming a member by clicking on the icon in the bottom left corner. These new high-quality videos aren't cheap to edit, and the $5 membership will really help with the video editing budget. You'll also get access to a ton of exclusive perks like early access to videos and this program design lecture playlist in the top right-hand corner. And if you want to learn how to do a one-armed pull-up, then check out the playlist on the top left corner.